Hi, welcome to She Spice. Blake Lively's perfect picture may very well be disintegrating just before our eyes. Once the brilliant young lady of Hollywood, it seems like the more obscure side of her spectacular life is at last getting up to speed for certain individuals. Now that it's a capability on Twitter and Instagram, there are a couple individuals that have quieted great behind that ideal grin and red cover. Beguile increasingly more celebrities are approaching, spilling tea that Blake would prefer to leave hidden from old embarrassments, re-emerging to murmurs of her sketchy conduct in the background. Stephanie. It's my sweetheart, howdy Stephanie, you ought to leave him. The entertainer is confronting a rush of kickback, and it's not looking great. Might this at some point be the start of the end for the tattle young lady star? Stay tuned in light of the fact that, in all actuality, she is getting more enthusiastically to stow away, and Blake may simply be losing it all since everybody is presently discussing her. Blake Energetic has had her reasonable portion of superstar disagreements, and trust me, a portion of the names on this rundown will stun you. We should rewind to before Blake and Ryan Reynolds, where several objectives recall Ryan was, as a matter of fact, wedded to Red Johansson's back in 2008. However, hold up quick forward to 2010 and think about what else happened. Gracious, simply the shooting of Green Light featuring, in all honesty, Ryan and Blake. Furthermore, kid, things were warming up on set. My future spouse, and we were mates. Then I recollect it was entertaining cuz for about a year after you Green Light had traveled every which way everything. And we were both single. We went on a D on the road. Their science was off the outline. Sources say they were chuckling, being a tease, and couldn't keep their hands off one another. Furthermore, here's the kicker, they were both taken at the time. Blake was still with her tattle young lady co-star Penn Badgley, while Ryan was in a real sense actually wedded to Red. The Green Light press visit. Goodness, it was completely clear something was fermenting among Ryan and Blake. Even however they swore all over they were just companions. How much time they spent together raised a ton of eyebrows. What's more, get this, Ryan even conceded he knew he'd crossed a line off-kilter date for their separate part. We were simply like firecrackers, going over the no doubt, so that only 3 months after that press visit Blake called it quit with Penn Badgley. However, here's where it gets considerably juicier. Ryan declared his split from Red Johansson around the same time. Red later indicated that the end of their marriage had a ton to do with Ryan never being home. She even dropped some subtlety about how precarious it is dating one more entertainer without naming any names yet. We know who she was discussing, right? She said the planned operations of being with another entertainer are testing if one individual is more effective than the other, which additionally demonstrates testing. I think the possibility of marriage is very heartfelt. It's a lovely thought, and the practice of it tends to be an extremely lovely thing, yet it's a great deal of work. Gracious, and there could try and be a little rivalry in the blend too now that Red's hitched to Saturday Night Live star Colin Just, who's in something else altogether. Field many accept she was without a doubt tossing shade at Ryan while talking about her battles with dating an individual entertainer. She even indicated that opposition between entertainers can genuinely wreck a relationship, and rumors from far and wide suggest that this was one of the vital explanations for her. What's more, Ryan's parted, as a matter of fact, back in 2010, a source spilled a tea to the Everyday Mail, guaranteeing that Ryan had somewhat of a domineering side and was super customary, while Red was about her freedom and an astounding cook. Why wouldn't you be pals? Definitely precise. Well, because you really want to squeeze into a superhuman outfit for a brief period of time. The theory began flying that Ryan didn't precisely love seeing Red's vocation, surpassing his with bits of gossip, whirling about his active way to deal with it, closes with us. Like in a real sense, revamping a portion of the exchange. Individuals are beginning to ponder on the off chance that Ryan has somewhat of a thing for controlling his accomplice's business undertakings, yet stand by. It gets significantly quicker. Things went wild after a server guaranteed she spotted Ryan and Blake partaking in a heartfelt supper together in December 2010. The server spilled the tea, guaranteeing it was only both of them chuckling and being a tease. Genuinely, if you didn't have the foggiest idea what their identity was, you'd completely think they were a couple. This, along with a lot of other eyebrow-raising minutes, has persuaded numerous to think that Blake may have had an impact on Ryan and Red's part. Obviously, none of the involved parties have at any point conceded to these reports, yet Ryan and Blake have dropped scarcely any clues about a few intriguing things they did together before authoritatively turning into a couple. He said about a year after green light had gone back and forth. Furthermore, we were both single. We went on a twofold date. She was out on the town with one more fellow, and I was out on the town with another young lady, and it was like the most abnormal date for the separate gathering since we were very much like firecrackers running over. Reynolds shared more about how he took the primary action on Enthusiastic, while on Smartless web recording, he reviewed how, when he and Vivacious got together in Boston, their kinship became something out of a fantasy. I met Blake on the haziest wrinkle in the rear end of the universe called Green Light. He knew we were companions and mates, and about a year and a half later, we went on a twofold date. Be that as it may, we were dating separate individuals. He also, exuberant, had consistently sort of kept in contact, kind of nonchalantly. So here's the official story. Ryan and Blake weren't sincerely involved until the two of them parted from their exes and had that mysterious moment of clarity acknowledging they were in affection. Sounds slick, right? However, the reports simply will not disappear, and presently things have gotten considerably more chaotic thanks to author Feline Marnell, who as of late dropped a stunner charging that Ryan undermined Red with Blake. This guarantee has reignited all the show, and fans are humming once again in a now-erased tweet. Feline said fun reality. Blake, exuberant, and Ryan Reynolds connected when RR was as yet hitched to Circle Scarjo and stayed in a Nola Inn room during the green light. Here's another succulent goodie. Green Light was recorded in New Orleans, and that is where author Feline Marnell claims Ryan and Blake first got heartfelt. As indicated by Feline, the couple went into full harm control mode, smashing these accounts before they could spill by undermining the journalists involved, Nowie as a whole. No, being best pals with your ex's new accomplice isn't precisely normal, and rumors from far and wide suggest that Red Johansson isn't precisely Blake's greatest fan, despite the fact that the two of them work in the same industry. Powers say their hamburger runs a lot further. Everything attaches back to the affirmed bamboozling embarrassment. An insider even spilled that there's actually significant pressure among Blake and Red Direct, where they make a special effort to keep away from each other, never appearing in something similar place simultaneously. It's likewise been vigorously hypothesized that Red faults Blake for the breakdown of her marriage to Ryan. No big surprise. There's animosity between. And these two. Henry Golding may not have disapproved of Blake energetic while cooperating on the set of A Straightforward Blessing. However, he was under a ton of tension, which he owned up to Hendrick and Blake. Lively had a couple while shooting A Basic Favor with regards to beginning show. Things got somewhat tense between Blake, Vivacious, and Anna Kendrick while shooting their film together, notwithstanding playing muddled best buds on screen. Gossip has it there was some genuine grating between the Wool entertainers. Even Henry Golding, who featured close by them, conceded he was really anxious to work with both Blake and Anna. He'd grown up respecting their work on screen in any case. With the supposed strain stewing in the background, it probably made things extra off-kilter for him. He said it was a seriously little set. Actually, the primary project was 4 or 5 individuals, so the closeness truly in this filmmaking was such a great deal nearer. He said it's not difficult to kind of become extremely apprehensive about it, and there were sure days where I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Ultimately, Henry Golding figured out how to coexist with both Blake and Anna. Yet that's what he conceded. He scrutinized his certainty a great deal. During shooting, turns out he was a little scared by the two forced to be reckoned with entertainers, while Henry's apprehension could be chalked up to his adoration for Blake. There have been murmurs that his distress had more to do with the Ted strain among Blake and Anna. At the point when gotten some information about the reputed crack in an interview, Henry attempted to relax, guaranteeing that the two entertainers got along fine and dandy. However, here's the thing, he appeared to be really apprehensive while saying it like he wasn't totally persuaded himself currently. How about we plunge into that? Assume the fight word on the road is that things among Anna and Blake got warmed on the arrangement of A Straightforward Blessing nature. Regardless of the background show, the two of them got back to film. In the film continuation, which enveloped April 2024, the bits of gossip about the fight truly picked up steam back in September 2017 while they were shooting. The conflict evidently started off when Anna Kendrick made some random remarks about Taylor Quick that didn't agree with Blake, who's perhaps Taylor's dearest companion. You can envision how that could have started a few strains on set, not many times through. Ryan on that film got it. What's more, you know and thought, she appeared to be great. What's more, much to my dismay, better believe it. How rapidly has Anna likewise been accounted for to be impolite to individuals and staff in the assistance industry, which makes it conceivable that she might have offended Taylor in Blake's presence. No yet, like I truly would. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.